James Lynch here for Home of Fight. I am so happy to talk to my next guest because he's the newest member of the UFC roster, going to be taking on King Green this Saturday, UFC Vegas 112. It is Lance Gibson Jr. joining me here on the program. Lance, how the heck are you, man?
I'm doing well. You know, I'm excited for my opportunity.
Yeah, it's a well-deserved opportunity. Anyone who sort of followed your career knew it was only a matter of time. And you and I actually were talking a bit on DMs last week, and it seemed like something was close. When did you get the news that this was official and you were going to be stepping in?
So Monday night, I
Oh,
was
wow.
having I cooked some flank steak. It was reverse sear. I had some white rice. I was just enjoying myself, and I sat down to a lot of food, and I had 2 Jamaican patties in the oven, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat these too." And then I started getting full, and I was taking like my last bite of steak, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna pack those patties up for maybe tomorrow." And my dad calls Julia, and Julia Bud picks up the phone, and he's like, "Am I on speakerphone?" And he was like, "Yeah, get me off right now." And he was like, "Junior could be like, he's most likely on. Pack your bags. We're leaving tomorrow." And we're like, "Oh, like, it's on. Okay." And then so where we live on the Sunshine Coast is it's 40 minutes. Like it's a ferry ride away from Vancouver, where the airport is. So we were panicking because we were like, "Okay, we gotta get up early to get on the ferry to make sure we make the ferry to make our flight." And the flights are only at 3 p.m. So wake up that next morning at like 5 and just checking the phone to see if there's any news yet, and nothing yet. And kind of time goes by, and now it's like 2 o'clock, and it's like, "You got the fight. You're on. It's on." And there's no more flights that day. So
Okay.
and the ferries, like the whole ferry's garbage. Yeah. It would have
Don't
been
even get me started on that.
a
By the way, just so
yeah,
people know, Lance and I live in British Columbia. It's a disaster sometimes with the
yeah.
ferry service. So
Yeah. So we were just like, "Okay, we'll fly out tomorrow morning," and we we're here.
we got here. There we go. Well, I'm glad it worked out, right? Obviously, that's very
Yeah.
good. So by the sounds of it, I'm guessing your manager told your dad, or like, how did you find out the news?
Yeah. So my manager is talking to my dad talk all the time, and they were talking kind of back and forth, and we're like, "Okay, it's on. Maybe it's not. It's on. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's on." And then it was solidified, and it's been just a lot of paperwork, and my family, my dad, Julia, and Danny as well. Danny Rubenstein. He was really helpful with getting all of the paperwork done for me, because I'm not that good at that kind of stuff.
Right, and that's why you have a manager anyways. And for
Yeah.
those who didn't pick up there, if you don't know the history here, your dad, Lance Gibson Jr., or Lance Gibson Sr., I should say, fought in the UFC. And shout out to Andy Hickey for this tweet. I forgot about this. He fought at UFC 29 in December of 2000. So it's going to be nearly 25 years to the day that you make your debut. How cool is that, man?
You know, it's really crazy. I mean, I'm a very spiritual person. I always talk about synchronicities, and it's not like imagine it, like it's real. It's meant to happen that way. So what's crazy, to add to that, how crazy that is when I fought in Hawaii against Noah Dung, my dad had fought 23 years prior in Hawaii,
Oh, wow. Okay.
almost to the day. So it's
Yeah.
just like really, it's weird. The weird connections are obviously meant to be. So I just I'm thankful for the blessing.
Yeah, and third father-son combo in UFC history as well. So a lot of history kind of going into this. When you actually got to see your dad, what was that moment like? Because I know, like, again, it's been a long process to get you in the UFC. You're finally in there. What was that moment like for you, kind of thinking back?
Honestly, I was crying. You know,
Yeah.
I brought tears to my eyes, because I'm like, this is actually happening. I feel like I've been fighting the demons, the doubt, the naysayers, the so much, my own thoughts of if I could do it or not. And for the past 2 years since I left Bellator, so it was a tough time. And I think through the tough times, the resilient, you become stronger ultimately. So uh resilience is key, and here we are.
And I got one more thing I want to mention, then we'll get into the fight. For the people watching, Don't worry, we'll get to the fight talk here, but this is a pretty cool story. So Battlefield Fight League did a card a few days before the UFC Vancouver event in October. It's part of this like looking for a fight. Shelby was trying to find some new talent. And I know you, Julia, and I'm not sure if your dad was there, but you were all at the event watching it. And I get a message from Julia. We were just talking. She was like, "Oh, you're at the show." And I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be good to see you." And she's like, "Do you know Sean Shelby? Like, I see that he's here. Do you think you could put in a good word?" And I said, "I don't know him, but just go up, shoot your shot, see what happens." And you actually did that, Lance, to your credit. You went in right up to Sean Shelby, who was sitting in the front row in between fights, and you guys had a conversation. You don't have to reveal what was said there, but how much do you think that helped, just, putting a name to a face, actually going up and having the balls to talk to Shelby at that show?
It was really interesting because I was really trying to get on that UFC Vancouver card, and nobody had fallen out, obviously, in my weight class. And he had notified both my dad and Danny that I was on the short list. So the potential was really high. And I was like, it's all right. And we found out that he was going to be there. So when I seen him, and I actually talked to you right before, and I was like, and you're like, go do it. And I went up to talk to him. The main thing is like, what I find happens a lot with people that are trying to make it to the UFC is they're screaming, and almost, in my sense as a martial artist, in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
Because nobody owes you anything. You're trying to get there. So I wanted to approach him in the most respectful way that I could, and have a conversation on a human level. And also as a business partnership as well. So I spoke like, what do you need to see from me? Do you need a knockout? Do you need a submission? Like, I'll do whatever it needs, whatever I need to do. What do I need to do? And so I can't tell all the details, but
but you shot your shot, and
we're
you
here
did it
now.
smoothly
We're
too.
here now.
Yeah, and I got to give you credit because, like, I think you and I talked, and I was like, just go do it, just do it in like a cool, calm manner, and you did. You kind of just snuck in there, went up there, and it was really cool because I was kind of seeing it all unfold. I was sitting in the front row, and you were a little bit behind there, but I just wanted to mention that because I think again it shows your perseverance with everything. Okay, let's talk about King Green, a guy that there's a lot of tape on him, everything, and this is a catchweight fight, is my understanding. It's not 155, right?
Yeah, it's at 160 catchweight.
Okay, so that's good too. Again, short notice and all that. But just stylistically, how are you looking at this fight with you and King Green?
I think it's a great fight for me. I think it's a great fight for him as well because of my style. When I'm saying that, it's an exciting fight, is what I mean. I think I have all the skills to beat Bobby Green. And yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm grateful for my opportunity to fight such a veteran, such a skilled fighter as well. And I can't wait to showcase my skills because I feel like I haven't quite I'm always saying I have more to show, and I do. So when people see me and they see my movement alone, just my movement alone, they're going to be they're in awe.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. And I think it's just like a nice coming out party and again, there's people, a lot of the media, fans of whatever, we watched you in Bellator. We saw that the talent level, it's going to be cool to see this on a UFC card now, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. We know Green can talk a little bit of trash. I don't know if you've had an opponent like that before. Is that something you're kind of thinking of going into the fight? Cause we know he likes to talk a bit.
I think it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I grew up playing basketball. I grew up in rough areas. We were always talking trash to each other, and your skills are what matters. So at the end of the day, it's the talk doesn't really matter to me. I have respect for him, and that's ultimately it's not about being a bigger person, but I think it's a part of his persona that keeps him, this is my perception, keeps him being able to fight the way that he does. And you can't play, you watch Patty, you can't play into it. And Patty was able to just do what he did, obviously. So don't play into it and just have fun.
Camp, I know you're always training, so even though this is short notice, I know you're always in the gym, always working there. Who have you had a chance to work with sort of leading into this fight?
My team at Gibson MMA, that's been great. I've been working with doing jiu-jitsu, both with titled BJJ and on guard BJJ. I've been working with Matt Kwan as well as Danish Ali in the grappling, and then my dad, Julia, all my team at Gibson MMA.
Nice. And weight's going well. We mentioned it's a catch weight, so that all seems to be going on point.
Yeah. So like I had to make quite a descent. I still have to make quite a descent. So it's a challenge, but I got this. I always come there professional. So.
Well, I was going to say, I'm talking to a guy right now who doesn't seem like he has to cut any weight. You seem in a great mood. I've interviewed fighters when they're cutting a lot of weight and they're miserable. You're great, man. It sounds good.
Yeah.
And then I imagine your corner, your dad, Julia, is that the setup for this one?
Yeah. They'll be in my corner. So yeah, I'm pumped. My family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Without giving away the game plan, how's this one playing out on Saturday?
It's playing out. You'll see speed, explosiveness. You'll see tons of skill in the striking. You'll see tons of skill on the ground if it goes there. I think I know. Actually, I don't think I know I have the tools to beat them in every aspect of the game. So I'm excited to I'm excited to do it, and it's an honor to be able to fight in the UFC alongside my dad that fought in the UFC, and I'm just gonna really soak in the moment, be in the present moment, and I think my victory will come to me.
Love it. That's great. Not looking past Saturday, but something I know you and I kind of talked about even before this opportunity came up, but they're going back to Seattle. You're born in Seattle. I know you got a lot of roots to the Washington State area. If all goes well, I'm assuming that's what you want to have happen. And I'm sure the UFC would want someone local there. Like the last Seattle card they had a few local fighters. So I'm sure that would be sort of the dream if all goes well.
Yeah. I'd love to fight on that card. If they come back to Vancouver, I'd love to fight on that card. So we'll see. But first step, Bobby Green.
Yeah, for sure. Well, to be fair too, it seems like the UFC likes coming back. They did the Seattle card last year. They did Vancouver. Vancouver, out of any Canadian city, seems to be sort of more of an annual destination for them. So things are looking good from that as well. A couple more quick ones, and I'll get you out of here. For those who don't know, maybe they do if they've been following your career. You were a model for Roots of Fight, the combat sports brand. Are you still doing stuff for them at all? And can we still find you on the webpage?
You probably could still find a couple photos on the webpage, but not currently. We're still great partners, and I'm not doing any modeling there right now. I had to really focus on my career, obviously, but any chance I get there, I'd love to be back on the website as well. Yeah.
No, I just bring it up because it's another kind of interesting tidbit of your career as well. Because a lot of, maybe not as much popular now, but I remember, years ago, Roots of Fight, everyone was wearing that stuff. I still have a couple of the Mike Tyson ones from back in the day. And you mentioned Bellator. Like what happened there? Because I was very surprised. I know you lost your last Bellator fight, but I was surprised that they didn't make more of an effort to bring you back or bring you to PFL. Were there any talks about that, or they just kind of released you and you guys went your separate ways?
Without like getting into too much, we decided basically that my best move was the UFC, and we asked to be released when it was changing hands at the time.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it was, we really appreciated the way that it was run with Scott Coker and the whole team there, because that's that was Bellator. It was my best move was to be released. So we asked to be released, and I got released.
No, that's good. Yeah, I just want to clarify. I never really got an answer. I just noticed you weren't with them, and I know you fought a few fights since then. So I was just curious about that. And my last one, and I know you're probably not even thinking about this, but do you have any plans for the holidays? Obviously, we're coming up to Christmas time and all that. After this, and anything you got planned, or is it just everything on hold until this fight's over?
Not everything's going to, like, life goes back to normal after any fight. So I'm going to be with my family, spending time with my family, both in Seattle and in Vancouver, and just really enjoying life with my family and enjoying this blessing of being able to fight in the UFC.
Lance, congrats again for getting the call. We're really looking forward to it on Saturday. And by the way, I'm seeing all over social media, a lot of people are behind you, man. So this is really fun to watch. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any sponsors, social media, anything like that? I'll give you the last word.
I'd like to thank my sponsor, Angelo at Apollo Sheet Metal. He's amazing. Always had support for me since day one. And we made the dream happen, obviously. I'd like to thank my family, both in the States as well as in Canada, for believing in me through the toughest time. It was a hard time making it through that 2 years, because I didn't. You kind of go through ups and downs of believing that you could do it, and I'm so, all glory to God, but I'm so grateful.